Simon & Schuster Audio presents LBJ and McNamara, The Vietnam Partnership Destined to Fail, by Peter L.W. Osnos, read by Stephen Graybill. After the completion of the book, you will hear Robert McNamara and Peter Osnos working on the material for McNamara's memoir, In Retrospect, an opportunity to hear how this extraordinary historical account came together. To those on the Vietnam Wall, on the Mall, and their countless Vietnamese counterparts, it did not have to happen. Origins. This book is the result of more than 50 years of engagement with the subjects of conflicts in Indochina, particularly the one that came to be captioned The American War in Vietnam from the early 1960s until 1975. As an assistant to I.F. Stone at his weekly newsletter when escalation began in 1965, as a correspondent based in Saigon for the Washington Post between 1970 and 1973, and then through decades of publishing books on the topic by journalists, veterans, scholars, and most significantly, Robert McNamara's explanatory memoir, In Retrospect, The Tragedy and Lessons of Vietnam. I was immersed in the history, the reality as I witnessed it, and the consequences of this 20th century war, a ground, air, and propaganda battle that differed from the global conflicts of World Wars I and II. As an editor at Random House and its imprint Times Books, I also published the memoirs of Clark Clifford, counsel to the President, and Anatoly Dobrynyan's In Confidence, Moscow's ambassador to America's 6 Cold War presidents. Those books and my experience working with the authors are also reflected in the narrative. The historian Brian Vandemark worked closely with both McNamara and Clifford, as well as with me on their respective memoirs. His own book, Road to Disaster, A New History of America's Descent into Vietnam, was invaluable as a resource. Robert Brigham, the Shirley Ecker Bosky Professor of History and International Relations at Vassar College and the author of several highly regarded books on the Vietnam War and its aftermath, shared documentary material from his extraordinary archive of research and fact-checked this narrative. Brigham also worked with McNamara on other Vietnam-related projects and provided essential perspective on how the policy debates evolved and how the personalities of those involved had an impact. Although I was the editor and...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?